franchising is an art and a science. And unless you have as your guiding principle, every franchisee is as successful as they want to be, you have no business being in franchising. I'm Shirin Behzadi. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Home Franchise Concepts. We're based out of Irvine, California. We have over 1,700 franchises operating out of 11,000 cities in all of North America. Our franchisees are in customers' homes 60,000 times a week. Today we have budget blinds. We are the largest retailer of custom window coverings in all of North America. We have tailored living featuring Premier Garage. With that, we are the largest whole home franchise system in North America. Our third brand is Concrete Craft. That's decorative concrete. And our newest brand is Advanta Clean. And with that, we have water restoration, mold remediation. Since the end of 2014 to end of 2018, our system-wide sales, which is our sales of all of our brands to the general public, has grown by over 70%. I was born and raised in Iran, and when the revolution happened, my parents sent me out of the country to allow me the opportunity to blossom. I didn't see my dad for 10 years, and he was my idol. There were years you couldn't even make phone calls. Really, I didn't have parents. And to go from a warm, loving environment with really no worries about finances to being pretty poor in an environment that wasn't familiar was a big step. I started working when I was 17 years old at a gas station. Out of college, I started working with EY, Ernst & Young. Then I had an itch to be an entrepreneur and started a career as an off-site CFO for companies that were in a growth mode but really couldn't afford a full-time CFO of my experience. And it was through that I met Budget Blinds. It was a small company at the time and really looked at the company as an opportunity to perhaps try my entrepreneurial muscles. And the rest is history. I've been here since 1999. In 2005, we sat back and decided that perhaps our core competency was franchising. That's when we formed Home Franchise Concepts, ultimately becoming a platform of multiple brands. I entered a field that is pretty male-dominated: home improvement, finance, franchising. Not a lot of women to look up to, and certainly nobody that looked like me. If you don't have somebody that would guide you, and you don't have somebody who you look at and say, oh, that one's done it, I'm going to do it the same way, then what you're left with is to have really concrete core values of who you are. I think my job as a leader is sort of like a conductor. My job is to make sure that I have people that are really good at what they do, but they can create harmony, that they have a good cultural fit, and as well can play together so everybody can have their own piece of this puzzle. And good leadership is about being good with people, understanding people, helping them along, and I think that's the magic. It was in end of 2009 that I was struck with a brain tumor that was lodged between my optic nerves. The only way to treat it was to surgically remove it. It was successful, yet 10 days later, I was severely ill, and as it turned out, I had lost all of my spinal fluid. So we actually went in and did another emergency surgery for 5 more hours, and subsequent to that, very difficult recovery. 4 months of not being able to move my neck. But within 6 weeks, I started working, and within 9 months, I was doing boot camps, and here we are today. Coupled with everything else I had been through in my life, being an immigrant, being a woman, all of it put together, I believe, has given me the chance to really understand people. And it's become my passion to give back, to do good, to give people an opportunity to own their own business and own their own lives. I believe all of that added together has brought me to this point.